Okay, so good morning, everyone. Welcome to Cyber's Future Certification Track Class 3. We got Ramona, Lewis, Cheryl, and Wesley in the house. All right. Andre couldn't make it today. He has some personal things to take care of. And waiting on your nephew, hopefully. So let's see here. Do you all see my screen?
Yes.
Outstanding. Okay, so I'm gonna keep pressing on. You guys know who we are already. There we are. There are our titles. There's some of our certifications. Today's agenda: participant updates. We're gonna do a recap. ITF practice questions. We'll get right to the questions. Memory exercise, acronyms and examples, more practice questions, evaluation and next steps. Okay, so another interactive class. So what updates do you have? I mean, we've done 2 classes. We've talked about a lot. We gave recommendations to do 25 questions a day. We're a good 2 weeks into this. What do you have, Ramona?
Devon and I have been quizzing each other on the different questions. We noticed, like, for the first week that me waiting until I get home isn't necessarily the best time. So I've been calling him on my lunch breaks. My lunch breaks are normally about 3. So we seem to be a little bit more consistent with the 3 o'clock. So we question each other and we check on each other to see how far in the lessons that we've gone. And if there's anything that we don't know in the questions, we take notes of that and then try to have the answers for it when we come back.
That's awesome. How about you, Lewis? I know this is your first class here with us, but you did go over the old videos. What are you doing?
I've been creating stuff and deleting stuff through the console or the terminal, and basically, see, how can I put it? Just practicing doing stuff without the normal GUI.
You're doing stuff in the dark?
Yeah.
Command prompt and PowerShell and stuff?
Yes.
That's what's up. Linux too, huh? I'm sure.
That's my favorite.
Are you studying any questions yet? Practice questions that we gave you?
What do you mean?
Okay, I guess not. So there are, this is a 75 question exam. We gave you access to the CompTIA portal, which has all of the material that you would ever need to study. It has performance-based questions and simulations in there as well. So we recommended that everyone take advantage of these test questions, do 25 a day. And if you take one whole exam and just do 25 questions minimum of that 75 question practice exam, it will go through 100% of the objectives. And then if you keep doing that over and over and over again, you should be ready to sit for this exam in 2 or 3 weeks. You want to know the content. Doing that simultaneously while reading the material and doing the performance-based questions. The goal for the certification track is for you to sit and take the exam and pass it the first time. If you fail it, come back, and that means we gotta re-up our study process. Okay, so Ramona, going to work. Interestingly, you brought back memories. I remember studying for a lot of exams, and while driving to work in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area, for those who may be listening, I was listening to content while driving to work. Sometimes when I got to work, I had a tab open so I can just read it whenever I had a break. And I would do it during my break, during my lunchtime, and at the end of the day. And then when I came home, if I felt really good, then I went over some more. If I was just too tired, I was done, because I just noticed that, when we wake up in the morning, we're freshest. We're at our freshest point.
Right.
And in the evening, I'm just like, oh, especially after a long commute, I'm done. I was also very fortunate sometimes because Cheryl and I used to commute to work. So she used to read questions to me. And because we were slugging, sometimes we even had a third person in there like, what are you studying? And that was kind of funny. So we didn't really care. We were like, hey, I got to get this test done. And we did that for about 30 days or so. And then I went and I sat for the exam, or she went and sat for the exam. And, you know, most of the times we passed it. I think I failed once, had to wait 6 months, take it again. I took it again and I passed it then. That was for my CISM.
That's how we do that in the break room. Like I'll sit there and it looks like I'm talking to myself. And it looks like I'm crazy because I have my headphones on. And so unless they actually walk by my laptop, they can see that I'm talking to somebody.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's what that's how cell phones started in back in the day. Earpieces and stuff. Crazy.
But if I'm doing a task, because you know we can listen to like audiobooks, music, and stuff like that while we're actually working. So I'll put on YouTube. I'll listen to some content as I'm going around. If it's slow enough, my soup said that you can bust out your laptop and do some schoolwork. So that gives me an incentive to get my task done. And as soon as it's done, that laptop is open.
So we're going to talk about it later, but one of the things we want you to do is start maybe do a mind map. Start drawing some pictures and stuff, and really trying to understand the content so you can remember it. But we have some things in here to talk about. I'm going to press forward, okay? Okay, so recap. Class 1, 10 strategies to pass the CompTIA exams. And class 2, we did keywords. Any questions about that?
Any of this been helpful for you as you were studying during the weeks?
Did you hear us, Ramona?
Can you say it again, please?
Oh, do you have any questions about class 1, the 10 strategies to pass the CompTIA exam that we gave, or the keywords? Same for you, Lewis. Hey, that looks like Mr. Miller.
Oh. Okay, can you say that one more time? Because it like cut out for me.
Okay. Can you see the screen that I have up?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about class 1 or class 2, the content?
For the class 1, when exactly will we be taking the test so I know?
You can sit for the exam anytime you're ready, but we're hoping that you are utilizing these strategies that we are suggesting, using these keywords, finishing the online course material that we gave you, performing the performance-based questions and simulations in there, because normally CompTIA will give you the first 5 questions are simulations. You need to know how to do them. Then the rest of them are questions. And if you're doing 25 questions a day and you're starting to feel comfortable and you can repeat the test and do better and better, then you know what? We love to give you like 1 or 2 or 3 tests to take, see how well you do with that. Excuse me. And then go forth and sit for that exam and pass it and tell us how it is that what helped you and what did not.
Okay.
All righty then. So if there are no more questions or statements about this, I just wanted to recap to see what was working, what was not working, what can we do to improve, etc. All righty, we got some questions. Let's get right into it. Which of the following is not a function of an operating system?
Oh, A, interference between the user and the machine.
Okay, Lewis says A.
Louis, can you tell us why you chose that?
Because because it says interference between the user and the machine. And when it says user, I'm pretty sure it means like by an actual human. And so like, I mean, you can control the computer, but it pretty much has its mind of its own mind of itself, and you can't, like, there's no physical interference between the two.
So just so you know, Lewis, that word is interface, not interference.
We don't talk about that.
Just want you to pay attention to the exact verbiage there. And
Yeah, because
now,
they will twist them words up on you.
so are you sticking with that answer?
Oh, didn't know.
No, I
Okay,
think
read the
it's,
question carefully. What you got, Devon?
I think it's C.
We got C with Devon. Coordinate hardware components.
I agree.
Lewis and Ramona.
C also. I was going with C also.
Yeah. Can y'all give us a
Yeah.
rationale for C? Why C?
I believe with C, it's the BIOS that helps coordinate the hardware components. I thought the input output.
Or yeah, that is true. Or system information.
What'd you say,
But
Lewis?
I think it's gonna be D. Monitor
D?
system health, because even though it shows like how hot your CPU is and what your CPU load is, it doesn't tell you specifically if your computer's gonna break blah 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 then or blah 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 that. And
Okay,
that's pretty much system health.
so we
I was
have
looking at that
Lewis
too.
for which answer again? D?
D. He said D.
Ramona said C,
Mhm.
and Miller said
C.
C as well. So I'm gonna read the question one more time, and then I'm gonna show you the answer. Which of the following is not a function of an operating system?
Shoot.
Y'all okay? I like the faces though.
Provides an environment for software to function, but it does not coordinate between the software applications.
That means that
Hmm.
the other three are functions of an operating system. You're looking for the one that's not. So B, an operating system provides an environment for the software to function, but it does not coordinate between software applications. You need to read your material
Mhm.
and realize what is a function of an operating system so you can process, eliminate out. And also too is pay close attention to these action words and these sentences. Coordinate hardware components, coordinate software application, monitor system health, interface, and see what works. What 2 cents do you want to add, Cheryl?
I think that's fine.
Oh, you muted. I can't hear you.
Someone else just joined us. Can you hear me?
Colbin. Hey,
Oh.
who's that?
Oh, that's Kobe. I mean, not Kobe. Jacoby.
Hi, Jacoby.
Hi.
Can you
Hey,
turn
welcome.
your camera on
Hey.
so we can see your beautiful face?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a lie.
You too,
Yvonne, you too, if possible. Can you turn on your camera?
You know we like to see you cheat. That was like a good joke. Come on now. All right, I'm gonna go to the next question. You guys ready?
Yes.
Do it. Your friend Michael just purchased a Chromebook and wants to know where his files are stored. What do you tell him?
Devon, you would definitely know this one, right? You're on a
Okay.
Chromebook right
Chromebook
now.
King.
He purchased it. He purchased the new Chromebook. He wants to know where his files are stored. Oh, go to his file manager.
Y'all reading the answers, right? A is on the hard drive. B is in the system RAM. C is in the cloud. D is Chromebooks do not store files. You all been reading your material in the classroom?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, wait. Oh, it's in the cloud. Chromebooks
In the
are
cloud.
cloud-based.
Yeah.
We got one for in the cloud. What
See?
say the rest of you?
It's in the cloud.
What'd you say, Kobe?
Cloud
Okay.
or the hard drive.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna read the question, give an answer. Your friend Michael just purchased a Chromebook and wants to know where his files are stored. What do you tell him? That's what you tell him. Chromebooks often have a very small hard drives, and they are not used for file storage. By default, all files are stored on Google's cloud.
Mhm.
Lewis, how'd you know that answer?
Because Chromebooks are made by Google, and you know they're always on the cloud. And plus, I've had experiences with Chromebooks before.
Okay, you have experiences.
Me too.
How about the rest of you?
Me too, because I have one I was using for previous classes, and everything was stored on the cloud. There wasn't much that I stored actually on the laptop itself.
This is really good. We're going to talk about experiences later.
I'm on
And
one.
we're not looking up these answers, okay? We're just answering based on what we've studied and what we already know.
Mhm.
All right?
Right. If you get it wrong, you get it wrong. But you know what? You will remember this for later. Linux is defined as a blank, which is also the core of an operating system.
In OS. Oh, whoa, wait.
The answers are distribution, version, kernel,
Oh,
shell.
Hey,
distribution.
hey,
Jacoby,
I
did you
heard
say
two
something?
people say distribution.
Okay.
wait, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was me.
Now, we talked about this when we talked about keywords, remember?
Mhm.
We said to picture what certain things are.
She's not supposed to do that, but she gave you a hint
So,
before you answered the question.
isn't it like a deviant distribution?
So, what answer do
A
you
little
say,
louder,
Louis?
Jacoby, so we can hear you. What did you just say?
I said, isn't it like a deviant distribution or something like that?
Debian?
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a Debian distribution. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Open
So
distribution.
which answer do you say, Jacoby?
Distribution.
We got A for Jacoby. Louis, what answer do you have?
A.
A. Ramona.
Wait. Linux. Oh, no. I was thinking about Kali Linux. It's a version B.
Oh.
Okay, we got B for Louis.
I
A
thought,
for
Notice
Jacoby.
when I'm reading, I always hear it referred to as a kernel,
Okay.
like something being based off of its kernel. But
Okay.
What answer do you want to choose, Ramona?
I'm gonna go with C. I'm probably wrong,
We
but
got C for Ramona.
mm.
Miller.
D.
What'd you say?
D.
D, shell.
D, shell. Okay, Linux is defined as a blank, which is also the core of an operating system.
Oh.
Linux is a kernel, which is the core of an OS.
I thought it was-
Keywords, we discussed this last week. The kernel is the core. Core is a kernel. Linux packages are put together as distributions and marketed as such. So they do call those, Linux is a distro. There are various flavors or distros of Linux. But if you read that sentence very carefully, you'll see what they're looking for, what they want you to think about as the real answer.
Mhm.
Is that a lesson learned? Y'all learning how to do these questions? Okay, here we go. You want a device to hold files for several users to access on a network. What type of device do you need? File console, tablet, server, or workstation?
Says what type of device to hold files for several users on the network? A server.
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 Like everybody said server?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. A server is used to produce services to others on a network. In this case, it sounds like a file server is what's needed. What made you think that it was a service in that statement?
Because the server is bigger.
What?
A server can hold more
More files.
memory.
My question is, what words within the sentence or the question made you think it was server?
Several users to access on the network.
See, the answer is always in the question or the statement,
Mhm.
right? And if you go through this and say, hold files for several users to access on a network, file console, it doesn't make sense. Hold files for several users to access on a network, tablet, huh? Same thing with workstation and server, right? We really want you to supplement what you're looking for in the statement so that you can start really thinking, because some of these questions can be a little bit tricky. It's English. It's CompTIA English though. If we pay close attention, we may be able to say, you know what, this is it because of these key words and what it does. Just want you to pay attention to those words there. Okay, going to the next question. You are configuring a computer to participate on a network. Which of the following are mandatory? Choose two.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gateway for one
B, default gateway. For sure.
and
Which?
an IP address.
Yeah, B and A.
We got, Jacoby says A and B. Devon says what?
A and B.
A and B. Lewis says what?
B. Or
And?
B or C. B and C.
So do you see the question, Lewis?
Yeah, it says choose two. I said B and C.
B and C, got it, thanks. And then Ramona says,
I'm gonna say A and B, but D is standing out to me, but I'm going with A and B.
A and B, and D is standing out to her. Okay, here we go. You're configuring the computer to participate on a network. Which of the following are mandatory?
A and D.
A and D. Mhm.
So A and D, the IP address and subnet mask for network communications on TCP IP network, an IP address and a subnet mask are required. If you want to communicate outside of your network, y'all see that?
A and D. Oh.
A default gateway would also be required. That's the router. DHCP servers automatically assign clients IP configuration information. I don't know if you guys ever done that before in your computers, but you gotta have an IP address. Definitely gotta have a subnet mask associated with that appropriate A, B, or C IP address. And then yes, that default gateway is needed if you're going to include the router and going outside. Y'all see how these questions are written? They make you think. And that's all they want you to do. They don't just want you to, okay, I think it's this, I think it's this. No. Put your heart and your soul into it. Read the material. You need to read the material. Perform the exercise. There is an exercise for this. Okay, on Monday, you log into your computer at work, but you are unable to access any network resources. You run ipconfig and see that your IP address is 169.254.18.53. What is the most likely cause of the problem? Is it A, the DNS server is down? B, the DHCP server is down? C, the NAT server is down? D, your default gateway is set incorrectly.
Oh, I think,
You're in C or A.
yeah. No, I think D or A. Because, I mean, if it's everybody that can't do it, then it's definitely going to be A. Like, if
So look at
everybody
that
in the
scenario and think your way through and come up with one answer.
To your computer at work. You're unable to rely you can do your address. I think it's I think it's A.
We got one for A.
I think Louis said A.
Yeah, I said A.
We got two for A.
HCP. I'm gonna go with B.
B for Ramona.
Yeah, it doesn't
Did you hear me?
to you about the default gateway in the question, so
Okay.
pitch that one out.
Waiting on you, Miller.
B.
B. Okay. What is most likely the cause of the problem? I'm going to hit the answer. The DHCP server automatically configures clients with TCP/IP information.
Mhm.
If the server is not able to provide information, your computer will automatically configure itself with an APIPA address, which starts with 169.254. You all need to look up what APIPA means, memorize that IP address, know that it's always associated with DHCP and it automatically configures clients, and then, man, you will know this answer.
Writing this down.
We'll see this question again in some form or shape in other exams, especially A+ or networking type.
Network Plus, yeah.
All right. Any questions, statements about this? Moving on. Time for the memory exercise, okay?
All right, so I'll give him the directions for this.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to show you a bunch of letters, okay? And we want you to memorize as many as you can in order in 5 seconds, all right? So you're going to have 5 seconds to look at these letters, memorize as many as you can in order. Don't write them down, okay? Don't take a picture.
Show your hands, hands up.
All right, and then you're going to tell us what you remember afterwards, all right?
All right, I'm getting the picture.
Okay, ready?
Ready?
Yep. Go.
Whoa.
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay, 5 seconds done.
Okay,
All right, I got it.
what you got?
Trying to think.
A, G, B, V, F, C, Q, N, W, R, L, P. I don't remember.
Okay, I'm
I
trying
only
to.
got 9. I got L, G, D, F, V, L, M, O, I.
Okay, so I got this.
Okay.
LGD, FVL, MOIFBISLW.
You took a picture or something?
No, I photographed. No, I don't. But I didn't take a picture.
Okay, I'm gonna have you repeat that again later, but not now.
Okay. I remember that. Look, I can even screen share.
VOI,
Okay.
FBI.
Hold on, Miller's trying to say something. I don't know what he's saying though.
No, I said I could screen share.
That's okay. Go ahead, Miller. What were you saying?
LGB, VOI, FBI, MO. No, it was something. LGB, VOI, MOI, FBI, and something else. I don't know. That's what's in my head.
Okay, you got some of them. That's good. I did okay. All right. So for this next one, we're going to give you another memory exercise. These are going to be the same letters, okay, but they're just arranged differently. The very same letters you just had. All right. Again, 5 seconds. Remember what they are, and we're going to ask you. Okay.
Ready?
Mhm.
Here we go.
So-
Uh,
okay, that should be easy. All right, I remember.
Okay. What were they?
LOL,
Mm-hmm.
Scuba.
LOL, like Zubu or whatever.
Scuba.
And then
Scuba. What's the next one?
Zuba. And then DMV, FBI.
That was in there, but that wasn't the next one. Go ahead. Who else got it?
I just got.
LOL, Scuba.
That's all I got.
Okay. Ramona, Devon?
Got LOL, Scuba, GIF. I think it was AWOL, DMV, and FBI.
Okay. Devon?
LOL, Scuba. AWOL. Wait, no. LOL, Scuba, GIF, AWOL, DMV, FBI.
Okay. So y'all definitely got more of them. So it was LOL, Scuba, GIF, ASAP, AWOL, yeah. Definitely got more of them. So why do you feel you got more the second time than the first time?
The words.
You see them often.
Because you see them often. You know exactly what those were, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you didn't really have to remember them because you just knew what they were. You have to work as hard to remember, right? Because you already know what those things are. Okay. There you go.
Y'all see the answers?
Oh, I forgot about ASAP.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, I did too.
Someone sent me something else.
Didn't want to leave you in suspense all week.
Right. Okay. So these are acronyms, just like
Right.
we have to learn the acronyms for our exams. Okay. Well, so you can go to the next one. Okay. So these are the ones we already know. What does this mean?
Laugh out loud.
Laugh out loud.
Okay. The next one. What does that
As
mean?
soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
The next one.
Don't know. Oh. And wall over.
Miller, do you know what this means?
No.
It's AWOL. I know it's military when they leave without permission.
You know what it means, right? Right.
Yeah.
But
But I'm
what
trying
is?
to think of the actual acronym.
Do y'all know what this means, Miller?
It's like
So,
abandonment without leave.
Almost. Absent.
Absent without leave. Okay.
I don't get how I'm not supposed to know that because my mom works in the Air Force.
Department of Motor Vehicles.
Department of Motor Vehicles. What else though?
Maryland, Virginia.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Okay, the next one.
Federal.
Bureau of Investigation.
Federal.
Devon,
Federal Bureau of Investigation.
you got it.
Oh, okay.
And the last one.
AM. I actually don't know.
You know what it is though.
Yeah.
But I know what it is, but I don't know the actual
Meaning of it.
acronym.
Okay, go ahead. Anti-meridian or midday. And PM is
Post.
post-meridian, which is
Meridian,
after
Oh,
midday.
I didn't even know we were on that topic about like time zones, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So like you mentioned before, there's a reason why we already know what these are. There are reasons why. Okay. And the first one is, Wesley.
Oh, sorry.
Proximity. You're around people that talk like this. You're around, like for the DMV one, you live in this area. So if somebody says DMV, you immediately know what that could mean aside from Department of Motor Vehicles, right? You're in very close proximity to the people who mention this stuff, to FBI, we're right here, you know, around all that, Quantico and all that stuff, okay? It's right here. We use AM all the time, AM and PM. Even if we don't know what they mean, we know what it is and we know how to use it, right? So proximity is one reason. Of course, education and training. You know, many of us learn about AM and what the FBI is and all that in school. When I went to the military, that's how I learned what AWOL meant. Okay. And we actually use these all the time, and we're exposed to them all the time. I told Wesley, when I was little, I'm from Louisiana, but when I was little, I knew what the FBI was because of the TV shows, you know, that we used to watch, you know, the cops and stuff like that. So I knew before I even went to school what FBI, you know, what that is. Okay, so because we use them a lot and we're exposed to this on Facebook, LOL, you see that all the time, Twitter, whatever other, you know, thing you're on, you see LOL. Okay. Wesley, do you have anything you want to say about this one?
No, but this was, well, yes, Jacoby was mentioning something earlier about he did this before or some experience or something.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the key. Within this certification course or any certification course or the industry in general, there are hundreds of acronyms. Overwhelming. That's the point. The Security Plus, I don't remember how many, but hundreds of acronyms that they expect you to know.
Yeah,
that's why they want you to have experience. How do you get experience? You got to put yourself in the clique with these people. You got to read the material. You have to start talking the language. As you talk the language, when we start bringing up different acronyms, you'll be like, oh, I know what that is, and I know what that's associated with, and how that works, etc., etc. Now, how do you learn these acronyms within their particular subject matter, their subjects? Those are some of the things that we want to talk about as well.
And how do you learn it like this, the way you know these, right?
Yes.
It's like second nature. You don't even have to think about, you just know exactly what it is and what it means and where and how to use it.
Right.
Okay.
Any questions? Moving on. So this is CompTIA IT fundamental acronyms.
There's 122 here.
122, yeah, I almost said the wrong number. I thought it was 129. But look at all these acronyms: alternating current, AC, ACL, access control list, WPA2, wireless protected access 2 versus WPA, wireless protected access, etc., and everything in between. Y'all ready for this?
Now, for just like any other profession, if you were a doctor, if you were a lawyer, if you were a nurse, you know, a construction worker, you have to learn the language. There's a certain language that they use, right? That you need to really be able to understand. So as a cybersecurity professional, you're learning the language. Okay.
Right. So these acronyms is almost like coding. There's a lot. You didn't even get to coding yet, but welcome to the IT cybersecurity industry. This is just how we talk. You're going to have to get your Google on, read the material, watch a YouTube video, and start soaking this stuff up like a sponge. Draw your own little pictures and say, I know what this is. If I ever hear it again, I got it. Remember, this is the memory exercise. We remember what we do, what we see, what we hear to a limit, and it's a limit with everything. But we want to incorporate as many senses as possible so that we can really learn whatever it is that is before us. I'm going to move on.
So the ways that we learn this language, the way we know other acronyms so well, some things you can do to increase your proximity, to be around the stuff, the people who talk like this, is to join cybersecurity social media groups. They have a lot of cyber groups on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff, okay? Follow professionals. I follow certain cyber professionals on Twitter. They're always talking about this stuff, okay? Always tweeting about it. Subscribe to cybersecurity magazines. where you can read what's going on with a lot of these things, and they're going to use that language, you know, when they talk about it. Of course, education, the stuff that you're doing right now, and research, and consistent use. So the first link, there's a really nice, and I'm going to send you all these links in an email as well, okay? A really nice list of movies that have to do with hackers and cybersecurity from like the 80s to 2020, all right? A lot of good stuff. Some of these movies you've probably even seen before, but this is a good way for us to hear the language and become familiar with it as well. Like I said, I heard about the FBI watching TV, okay? So you're gonna hear them talk about some of this stuff in these movies. Ask questions and comment in groups that you're in, okay? Because you wanna consistently, it's about being consistent, not just learning it for the exam, which is what you have to do. But if you really want to know what this stuff is, you have to be consistent with hearing and using it, okay? And then writing and drawing things out, talking about it with someone else. I talk to Wesley all the time about, you know, certain articles, and he talks to me about the various things that are going on, you know. So this is the way you're going to really be able to immerse yourself into the language that cybersecurity professionals speak and become, just like any other language. You're learning Spanish or Italian or whatever, you know, really using it all the time and listening for it and being able to, you know, communicate with others in that language.
You'll be surprised how fast you can learn it too.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something that'll take forever. If I took you all and threw you in Puerto Rico for 2 weeks, when I come and pick you up from Puerto Rico, you'll be speaking some of the language. Especially when you're hungry and you're sleepy and you're cold or you're hot. You're gonna be like, dame comida, por favor. You know, it's gonna come. You're gonna listen. You associate words and so forth. Also too is you all have more experience than you realize. You know a lot of these different things already. If I said VPN, I'm sure some of you can tell me what that is. You know, HTTP, you probably know what that is. HTTPS, right?
Websites.
So whether you know what the full terminology is or not, you know what it does. So now you have to go over that and make sure you know it. Virtual private network, hypertext transfer protocol, hypertext transfer protocol secure. And those are the 3 examples I just mentioned. I'm going to move on to the next slide. Okay, go ahead, Cheryl.
This is a word cloud that I created using those 122 acronyms. And if you all have used a word cloud before, the bigger the word, the more it appears. You know, okay, so according to this word cloud, whenever you see P for ITF acronyms, more than likely it's going to mean protocol, okay? So you see some other words here that are very common in the ITF acronym: systems, service, secure, transfer, okay? So this is just another way to help you learn these acronyms. Put them in a Wordle, see which ones are bigger, and that'll tell you which words occur the most.
All right, you guys paying attention? Because you're gonna have to pay attention these next few slides.
All right, now we're gonna give you examples of what we've been talking about using these acronyms right here, okay?
So you've seen SMTP before? Yes, no?
Yeah.
You know what it means?
Actually going back and
There,
forth
right?
over a question about these acronyms.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah, we were the other day.
Okay, good. So I'm not going to read it out to you, but SMTP, POP3, FTP, SFTP. We're going to talk about that a little bit, okay? Okay, study, practice, and research. So, SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It's a protocol used for sending email from an email server. Located at the process or application layer of TCP/IP. Other email protocols are POP3 and IMAP. SMTP works at port 25. Y'all got that? You memorize for the rest of your life, you're good for every exam that has SMTP on it. You good?
Now, this is in the research category. So when you're looking up these acronyms, if you can look up more than just what it means, okay, that would really be helpful for you, okay? Because to help you understand, if you can connect it to something else, you know, that'll really help you remember what they are as well. Plus, you see it's a protocol for sending. So a way that I remember it is, it's simple mail, but the S is for send. When I see S, I know that means to send email, okay?
Okay, good. Y'all paying attention, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Went on. POP 3 means Post Office Protocol 3. Y'all see that picture of U.S. Post Office? It's like POP 3, right? A protocol used for retrieving or downloading email. POP 3 is the newer version of POP and can be used with or without SMTP. Located at the process or application layer of TCP/IP, other email protocols are SMTP and IMAP. Works on 2 ports, port 110, that's the default POP 3 non-encrypted, or port 995, secure port. Got it? Anything you want to say, Cheryl, or was I moving on?
No, that's it.
Here's a mind map.
So
Here's
those
an
2
example.
slides are right here. Everything that's in those 2 slides.
Yes. So pay attention to how the colors are used, what the key words are to help you memorize this information. So let's just say, should someone ask you in the real world, what does SMTP do? You should be able to spit that stuff right out, right? You should be able to possibly draw this out to explain it to someone else if need be. You see a question on an exam, oh, I know which answer is which. Are you good? You studied the picture enough?
So
You
mind
think you can-
mapping, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Mind mapping is really useful for showing relationships, right? Now yours may not look like this, like you may relate it some other kind of way, you know, instead of starting with the, you know, the application layer or whatever. But it really, the more senses you can use to learn something, not just, you know, looking at it and trying to remember it, if you can draw something out, you know, that really helps you to remember as well. Okay, so bring as many of your senses to the studying as you can.
It also helps you teach someone else. That's why a lot of teachers use whiteboards.
Mhm.
People can see pictures, and then that's why we have you come up to the whiteboard and draw it. It may not be the exact same like she said, but we're trying to get you that muscle memory, get you to go, I know what this
Exactly.
is. I know how to do this. I can explain. When you can explain it to someone else, you probably got it. Okay, moving on. You are connecting to an email server to download email. Which of the following protocols is your computer likely using? Choose 2.
C and B.
Did you say C and D?
C and B.
B and C.
Oh, okay. You just do your alphabet different than mine. Okay, B, C for him.
B and C.
You got another
B and D actually.
B and D, okay.
B and C.
B and C.
Okay. You're connecting to an email server to download email. Which of the following protocols is your computer likely using?
B and D.
And the answer is B and D. The 3 email protocols are POP3, SMTP, and IMAP. Of those, POP3 and IMAP are used to download email,
SMTP is the send.
to send email, right?
We just went through that whole thing.
You're
That's
gonna
okay.
remember it though. You're
Yeah.
not gonna forget
You
it
will
again.
never
Yeah.
forget
Yeah, but I
it
just wasn't
because
familiar with
this one-
IMAP, so I didn't
Yeah.
focus on IMAP.
Okay, everyone else good with that?
So this is a good way to learn what the acronyms are. And when you get questions like this on the exam that ask you of these acronyms, which ones do what, okay? You'll have a good pictures in your mind. You'll remember the writing, the drawing, all that stuff, okay? And you got it. You got it like
You'll
that.
even remember this moment, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Ha, I had that before. You can't trick me, you know, that type of thing. That's what, we always think that someone's trying to trick us. They just, we have to think. We have to memorize. We have to draw muscle memory. We have to apply all of our senses to make sure we understand and know how to answer these questions.
And nobody said A. Why not?
Yeah.
That's you use it with a browser. That's hypertext transfer protocol secure.
Because you know what that is. So you know what it's not, definitely.
Right. So I threw that out.
Definitely know what it's not. Right. So we want to know all our acronyms, just like we know that. I know what it's not.
And in some cases, you all may have configured this maybe on your cell phone or on your computers before. I don't know if you've ever done those exercises, but you know, you do this. Okay, moving on. Proximity, consistent use, and exposure. So you may have heard of FTP, which is File Transfer Protocol. So it's a protocol used to transfer files, right? It's very literal, between computers and servers over a network. Used for file downloads, not secure. Data is not encrypted. Okay.
So in this picture, the purple computer wants to share some files, okay? So she downloads it. She places the files in the server, and these other folks go to the FTP server to get access to those files. All right? But everything is wide open. You see there, everybody can see it. I mean, everything is there because nothing is encrypted, okay?
Got it? Here we go. So go ahead, Cheryl, talk about this Wireshark exercise.
So I want you to see what an FTP server looks like. So can one of you share your screen and go to the server? Now, this is an exercise that we did for another activity. This is Wireshark, okay? It does packet sniffing. If you look at the protocol section, you'll see all of these are FTP servers, okay?
Which is here. See what it says protocol? FTP. I don't know if you've ever used Wireshark. It's something that we will do in a
I have.
club track. Okay.
So we want everybody to go in, see where number 2 says connect to an FTP server. Go ahead and type that into your browser. So there's 2 ways you can get to the FTP server. You can use a browser or you can use an FTP client, okay?
Okay, so who wants to share their screen? I want to stop this and then we can give you the instructions.
Let's see. I've used it before. Not gonna lie.
Share your screen.
Okay. So many tabs open.
Uh-oh, did we lose Jacoby?
Jacoby lost.
Wireshark.
No, we're not using Wireshark. We need you to go to your browser, your Chrome or whatever you're using.
Now.
Give them the address.
Okay, hold on. I had to move the screen down. Okay, FTP. Oh, I can't even see that thing.
Is it FileZilla?
No,
FTP
that's my browser.
No.
Test TEST dot REBEX
EX.
.net / enter.
Now notice that other websites, you have to put in HTTP or HTTPS, but when you're going to a FTP server, you actually put in FTP, okay? The username is demo, and the
Demo.
password is password. This is not secure. You see that over there in the corner? This is not a secure server. All right, so you have files there. Don't open the files or anything. Okay, I just want you to see. But there are files there that somebody can go to the FTP server to download. Okay, I mean, others will have a lot more files in here. All right.
Wait, what port is it running on? Because I'm pretty sure you could connect through FileZilla, another FTP server. I mean, FTP client.
You can do it through FileZilla, right?
But you need to know what port it is on.
That's right. So I know the answer, but really quickly, go to another tab and type in FTP port number.
Check email, see, blah, blah, blah. Log into your web hosting, blah, blah, blah.
Go below, you're in big, no wonder. It says, if you go back, you move kind of fast. I was just about to tell you. So all right, wait. See what it says, what is the standard FTP port number, the little arrow? There you go.
Oh, 22 SSH, but I mean, because I've used with FTP, I've used SFTP and FTP before because I wanted to connect to my other computer. And so it depends on what type of client, a server version you have on the whatever it is. So it depends on which port it's running on or not.
Okay. What depends on which port? What are you saying?
Because like, look, if I open FileZilla, this is one of my other FileZillas. So see how these ones have 2022? It's because the client that they have on there is an older version than the recent one, and it depends on each client, and it goes specifically by each port. So.
You're also using SFTP versus FTP.
If I do, let's see. Do I have one? I'm gonna stop screen sharing for a second. I'm not sure if I have FTP.
So Ramona and Devon, do you all see how to get to an FTP server and the kind of things that you'll find in there? Okay.
We can see that. It just when he got over to the FileZilla, I was like, okay, we kind of speaking a different language. I'm trying to keep up. So
Yeah. So let's stay within scope because we could have a deeper conversation about that. But share the screen again. This is what we did if someone wanted to do this.
Right. Now we deliberately went to an unsecure server here for this exercise because we wanted folks to see that when it's unsecure, we can see everything. Okay. Yeah. Use Wireshark, find the password, the user, and all that stuff. Okay. So that was the example we used here for FTP. Okay.
Yeah. So then this Wireshark exercise, and Wireshark is one of those tools that is free to the public, and systems administrators and cybersecurity professionals need to stop people, have checks and balances in the organization to stop you from downloading software and stuff, especially Wireshark, because then you can start gathering information that they should not have.
Yeah, and we'll actually do this
exercise. FTP is just the start. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Moving. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So, okay, your computer can also be an FTP server. Now, computers can also act as servers, basically, is what we're trying to get you to understand.
Yeah.
Not just a client. So we want you to set up and manage an FTP server on your Windows 10. We don't really want you to do it, but we want you to see how easy it is that it can be done. So, never did this on a Chromebook before, but for you Windows users, you see these steps right here? Go ahead and try them. Don't go all the way and don't actually do it. I just want you to see that you can click on Control Panel, click on Programs. Under Programs and Features, click Turn Windows Features On or Off link. expand the Internet Information Systems feature, and expand the FTP server option. Check the FTP extensibility and FTP service options, just so that you can see what it looks like and say, oh man, I can actually do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can. But because you have secure information on your computer, you would never do that. You don't want anybody to be able to go to FTP right into your computer, would you?
Now.
Right? And if you ever did use it, you want to use some sort of secure FTP, some sort of secure means to do that. But this web link right here, I'm not going to open it. Cheryl will probably give this to you. This contains all of the information for setting up and managing an FTP server on with your actual computer. Are you all looking around? I mean, we took some screenshots and placed it here just to kind of, so you can see how easy it is this can be done. You know, a nice little Google search, what have you, blah, blah, blah.
But this is also a good strategy to learn what this is, to learn what it means. When you see this acronym again, you're going to know exactly what that is. Because I went to my computer, I saw how to do it. You know, I went to an FTP server, all of that, and you got it.
And that is the point. We're trying to engage your mind and your muscle memory and say, oh man, your senses, I know what this is as soon as I see what FTP is.
Mm-hmm.
You tracking? Okay, I'm going to go to the next slide, okay?
Okay.
Devon, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. SFTP. Okay? It means SSH, or Secure Shell File Transfer Protocol. SFTP is a protocol for transferring files securely, right? He just showed us that, how he does that with FileZilla, right? And the extension was SFTP. Over secure connection, data is unencrypted using Secure Shell.
Encrypted. Data is
Encrypted, excuse me. Authenticates the user and the server. If you send confidential data over SFTP, it can't be intercepted, ideally, right? I used to have my students in MSSA do this all the time. And once they started doing this, they started having all kinds of fun and games with their personal computers. They set it all up, and it was just a skill, right? I'm going to go to the next, and I think something that they need to know. Just in case you see SFTP, there is a difference between FTP, SFTP. We didn't talk about it yet, but if I brought up FTPS, your head's going to hurt some more too. Okay, so pay attention to where these letters are. Okay, what do they mean?
Post office protocol.
You all agree?
Mm-hmm. Secure file transfer protocol.
got it.
Oh, secure shell, file transfer protocol, secure, yeah.
Simple mail transfer protocol.
Got it.
So,
Hey, how about the rest of you guys?
Y'all remembering what these mean?
Ramona's showing y'all up.
I got coffee. Coffee.
What it is.
Did we lose Devon?
I think he was saying he had a migraine, and I had asked him to message one of you two to let you know.
Oh, okay.
Ah, okay. Well, I hope he feels better because he's gone.
Yeah, he just disappeared.
Okay, so what's this? FTP is?
File transfer protocol.
Hey, Lewis, can you see?
Yeah. What is it? Oh,
Well,
what do they
the whole
mean?
thing, you were looking straight. I see
What do
that
they
now when
mean?
you.
What do they all mean, Louis? You remember?
SFTP means, actually, FTP means filed. Yeah, I forgot. I'm just tired.
File
That's
transfer
not funny.
protocol. It's what you do all the time on FileZilla.
Yeah.
With SFTP. You know what SMTP and POP3 are?
SMTP PT has to do something with like websites, right?
Uh-oh. SMTP means
You know what? This is my best way. What is...
I'm just going to tell you for the sake of time, okay?
Oh, SFTP means Secure File Transfer Protocol.
Okay.
Means abbreviation. Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. File Transfer Protocol, and POP.
And do you recall what SMTP does?
SMTP?
What
Like,
it does?
it's like the way you send mail to each other? Not like, or email, I should say.
Okay.
And then POM3 is Post Office Protocol.
Okay. So now we want you to get this without having to Google search it.
Okay.
Right? We got to get you to be focused on what we're doing so that you can say, man, I got this, I got it. And you can spin it out and draw it on the board. But at least you know that you can Google search it and find the answer. But we won't be able to do that for the actual test.
Yeah.
Okay. So ITF exam practice questions. Am I clicking on this link right here, Cheryl? Okay, you all have access to this. I am not a robot.
Right.
Have you been to this website already, Ramona?
Yeah, that's what Devon and I use.
Oh, okay. So you will have seen a lot of these questions already then.
Okay, so I'm just going to read some random questions. Let's see what we got. You ready, Lewis?
Yep.
For which of the following is a relational database management system most commonly used?
Storing information.
Storing information. Okay. What do you say, Ramona?
Hold on, I got that one written down. I would say storing information,
Okay.
Yeah.
but I just have some notes about it.
Okay, so here's the answer right here,
It's B.
right? Of course, we can't read anything or write anything down on the test, so let's put our mind to work. We fail, we just remember. Okay, which of the following best practices, which of the following best describes an application running on a typical operating system?
The following best describes an application.
Application running on a typical operating system.
This will just be a process. I'm going with A.
I'm going with D.
Okay, here we go. Hit the answer. Bang.
A.
Process.
Oh.
Got it? Not a thread. A thread is like what goes inside of a discussion. Okay, next question, right? And it's going to be fast. The broadcast signal from a recently installed wireless access point is not as strong as expected. Which of the following actions will best improve the signal strength?
I think C.
I'm going with A, but I'm still trying to get to the lesson to find out why.
Okay.
Right. So I'm still reading along. Okay. Make sure the sources of EMI are removed. Okay.
You know what EMI is?
I can't think of it right now.
So I know it, but I want you to Google it real quick and know it for yourself. Put that muscle memory to work, that muscle and that memory to work. Tell us what it is.
Just says Emergency Management Institute, but I don't know if that's IT.
Now, put EMI space ITF or CompTIA or something.
Gotcha.
Should be like electro.
Electromagnetic
Interference. Outstanding. You understand that?
Interference.
I don't think you're ever going to forget that just because you looked it up. How long did that take you?
A few seconds.
Approximately 1.2 seconds.
Oh my God. Okay, good. So here we go. When you get to that section, or even if you read the definition, you'll start to learn why. Okay, that's what you want to know. That's what you need to know. Next question. A user is getting an error message when trying to go to a website. A technician asks the user a few questions to find out more about the issue. The technician opens a browser locally and browses to the same site as the user. Which of the following troubleshooting steps is the technician using by browsing to the same site? We went through this week 1, I believe.
We'll see.
Okay, you're going with C. Lewis, what say you?
C2.
C2?
Yeah.
Woo! You ought to say something else. I'd have been looking at you funnier than I look at you now. So let's go to the next question.
Right.
I am not a robot.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm not so
Right.
sure about that either.
I know, right? Let's just do a few more, okay? A user is attempting to print a document to a wireless printer and receives an error stating the operation could not be completed. Which of the following should the user do to correct this issue?
Okay. I'm going with A.
Show both devices to the land, okay? What's your answer, Lewis?
A.
Okay. Next question. Which of the following relational database constructs is used to ensure valid values are entered for a column? Now, I think we had this question before.
Something like it.
Yeah, because I literally have it written down with the 4 answers on here. This construct is used to ensure valid values are entered for a column.
Valid values.
I think was it the schema? The schema?
Schema?
I think so.
I like that, schema.
Schema.
What's your answer, Lewis?
Schema.
You know what's funny, Lewis? We see you looking
I
straight.
know, right?
And then
Exactly
whenever this
what you're
recording gets
doing.
out, the world's
know.
gonna see you. That thing is hilarious.
It was wrong. It was
So what's the answer?
it says constraints.
Yeah,
No, but actually, I think it's column.
it's constraint.
Well,
So the schema, that's the whole structure. That's what the whole structure of the database is called.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, okay, okay. I see.
sure,
So you
valid
have
values.
something there that's
Right.
saying, you know, nothing can go here unless it's valid.
Yeah. All right, let's do another one. A user is buying a laptop. The user will have a lot of personal and confidential information on the laptop. The user wants to ensure data cannot be accessed by anyone, even if the laptop is stolen. Which of the following should be set up to accomplish this?
That I know. So
What's your answer?
I'm going with A.
You're going with A. What do you say, Lewis?
C.
Permissions?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Oh, I was so close.
Right, you gotta think, that's all. Somebody steals your laptop, I don't care about your permissions, I'm in that joker.
I mean,
Going
you
out of
can,
Encryption.
Suppression or auditing.
Okay. A systems administrator uses a program that interacts directly with hardware to manage storage, network, and virtual machines. This program is an example of
Interact directly with the hardware.
This is from our keyword discussion 2.
Is it B?
Embedded OS.
C, I think. Network attached storage.
So we got one for C, and I heard a, is it B? But I'm not sure what your answer
It's
is.
C. C as in Kool-Aid, I guess.
Kool-Aid starts with a K.
Okay, this is Lewis's answer. Network attached storage. Directly hardware managed storage. Okay, now what do you say, Ramona?
I'm thinking maybe it's, I think I'm going with B.
An embedded OS.
Eh.
Okay, here we go. You ready for the answer? Now,
Hypervisor was more with the virtual memory, the virtual.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So remember from our keyword discussion, we said think of a hypervisor like a supervisor that manages other people. Remember that?
especially when you see virtual machines,
Mm-hmm.
it's managed in a hypervisor, a type 1 or type 2. We talk about VirtualBox and VMware, stuff that we use. That's why virtual machines are managed.
And embedded, we talked about something that's embedded was like firmware because it's planted, it's not
It's like not flexible.
buried. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Right. So let's go through one more bank questions. Still not a robot, no matter what you'll say. Which of the following is a compiled language?
Mm. Compiled language.
I'm going with Java.
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 What's a compiled language, Lewis?
Look at all the answers before you say something.
I don't think you heard me. Lewis?
Cannot hear you.
Read this question. Which one is the answer?
What'd you say? Hold up, let me do something. There we go. Okay, say something.
Which one of the, read this question. Which one is the answer?
Okay. What is a compiled language? Obviously Java. Easy.
Okay, read this question and tell us the answer. Which of the following actions is the final step in the standard troubleshooting methodology?
I'm gonna go with a D.
You said D?
Oh wait. C.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Ramona?
I'm going with A.
Going with A. Okay, ready? No time to change your answer. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Well, that was
We
so
went through
easy. I
this.
told you I said A.
The very first class, we talked about troubleshooting, right? And this is what a lot of people don't do in the real world,
Right.
right? And hopefully you all will do, whether you have a database or not. A lot of us today, thank goodness we use a database to enter our information when we do stuff, or whatever our information system is that we use.
Mhm.
Which of the following is a value that uniquely identifies a database record?
A private key.
Yeah, private key.
What letter is that?
B.
D.
David.
One person said B and one person said D. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. D as in dog and B as in boy.
No,
I'm
I
saying
think,
D, I'm saying D as in David.
yeah, Ramona said D as well.
Okay. And what did you say, Lewis?
D as in dog.
Got it.
Primary key.
Yeah.
Well,
Uniquely identifies.
Hmm.
Okay. That's another quick Google search real quick
Mhm.
for all of them to make sure you know, right? Maybe even open up, create a database real quick. First name, the last name, your date of birth, put in some key information and understand how these things work. Take a look at some images of what a database is. Look up primary key, example of primary key. They've been image.
okay.
Okay, a systems administrator wants to return results for a time range within a database. Which of the following commands should the administrator use?
Did this one too. He wants to return results for a time change. I think I'm going to go with D, with update.
Okay, D for update.
I'm gonna go with
The time range within a database. Not select, not delete.
I would say insert. Insert.
Yeah, that would be my second guess.
You said insert?
Yeah, but yeah.
What's your answer, Lewis?
I said insert.
Insert, B for insert, okay. You guys ready? I have some awesome cybersecurity labs that will help you all to really know all of this stuff right here. You know, maybe one day we can do that because there are things that you can actually do and you'll be like, I know what this is, you know, but anyway,
Right.
it may be advanced, but it's not that advanced. It's actually very easy to understand and to do. So we did about, I don't know, 15 or more questions,
Yeah, maybe about 15, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
We see what we need to do some work, right?
Mhm.
What is it that you think you all need to do to truly understand these questions?
I think the kind of difficult part that I have with this site is like it gives you the answer, right? You can, you know, show the solution, but it doesn't tell you why.
Right. That's on you.
You got to go back and actually remember to research it and why it is the way it is.
Right. So, which of the following is a compiled language?
Java.
Look up all of them.
Mhm.
Look up all of them.
I know JScript is, but I'm not sure about PowerShell.
And
Exactly
compiled.
why I say look up all of them.
Like if you don't know what compiled even means, that's going to
Yes.
make it hard to answer the question as well.
Yes. I mean, because they can change a word within this question when we talked about that. And next thing you know, JScript may be the answer. PowerShell may be the answer. It all depends on how they're not going to ask you the question like this. It's not going to be that easy. I doubt it. And if so, they'll have different answers in here. You know, so it's important for us to know what Perl is, JScript, Java, and PowerShell, right?
Mhm.
The final step in a troubleshooting methodology. That means that maybe you should look up the troubleshooting methodology and see how many steps there are and what they are, and logically explain that like we did in the class, because you all troubleshoot what's the first thing you do? All right, and you look through these and be like, okay, what, what's the first thing I would do out of these 4 answers? What's the last thing I would do out of these 4 answers? So CompTIA will tell you, right, which of the following is a value that uniquely identifies database records? Definitely need to look up these 4 answers.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? So you can understand primary versus foreign key, public versus private, which is cryptography, right? Process, eliminate, out. And again, database is not overly difficult. Our most private information can easily be places out of a database. And we just need to understand this terminology, maybe actually do it. There's a short tutorial online that you can actually do it and say, man, I got that. Ask me a database question, I'm good. Right? So I'm gonna go back to the PowerPoint. So we're near the end of the day. We can do some more questions if you want. Otherwise, we can do the evaluation and let you all get to studying.
I guess we could do the evaluation. I mean, is there anybody else in here besides? No, there isn't. Jacoby left.
It's just the 4 of us, the mighty 4. We know what happened with one of them. Okay, so Cheryl, how do I do this thing?
Go back to, it's in Zoom. You have to go back to the, you should have been pulled down the poll. It goes right to the top,
I got it.
a little drop down, yeah.
So the crazy thing is I went there and nothing happened, but this
Yeah,
time
sometimes it won't, yeah, you gotta go.
it
back
actually
to work.
did. So now I feel a
Yeah.
whole lot smarter. I'm gonna launch the polling. You all should see it. Just a few questions. If you don't mind, would you please answer that?
Oh, I literally answered yes on every question because I mean, it was just yes. That's it.
So you
Okay.
plan
You don't
on
have
getting
to share
your,
the results if you don't want.
yeah. You plan on getting your IT fundamentals, Louis?
Yes.
So next week when we meet, we definitely want to talk about what your accomplishments are this week with this material. So Louis, keep that in mind. You got to put some time in for this. Show us that you are ready to knock this test out. We'll go through some questions next week and just, spit those answers out. Tell us why. Teach one another why you chose what you did, what you studied. You are just as much of a teacher as Cheryl and I are.
Okay.
So we want to get you to that level. It looks like everyone is done with that, so I can end polling. And I will not share the results. I do not want to get fussed at by Cheryl. Close that. Okay, so what is your next step?
So what are your plans, Ramona, as far as getting this done and getting certified?
My plans are to get certified into the IT fundamentals. And then my next step would be the Security Plus, because the next class that I'm taking on the my online school, it's like an introduction to security, which apparently is kind of like the same thing. So I'm trying to utilize as many resources as I can, trying to get as much help as I can get.
Yeah.
Just curious, are you doing this for promotion purposes or for a job, or why the jump to Security Plus? It's not uncommon, just asking, because normally it's A plus, Net plus, Security plus, etc.
I think from what I've seen in the Security Plus content, it seems like it kind of, I wouldn't say it grabs my attention a little more than the Network Plus and A plus, because I've gone through the Network Plus and the A plus, but I've never felt comfortable enough, especially with the Network Plus, to certify. Now I know I'm going to have to take that class again to show my completion in school. So I just, you know, I just want to take a little bit more time to do the Network Plus a little bit later on. But
Gotcha.
just like when it comes up with the IT fundamentals, I can see some of the Network Plus elements in it. I can recognize it.
Yeah.
Have to do better with the acronyms and the ports and the 7 layers.
Yeah.
Good.
When
I
I was,
remember.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Cheryl.
When I was studying for my Security Plus, there's a channel that I talked about, Power Cert videos on YouTube. He has a 3-hour course on Network Plus. So I looked at that to help me with my Security Plus, you know, because a lot of those things do come up, you know, and he really does talk a lot of, about the various acronyms and stuff. So even though I have no desire to get a Network Plus certification at all, but I do need to know that stuff to a certain extent. So actually studying Network Plus helped me with the Security Plus.
Right. Everyone who studies.
I'm sorry?
You said it was called Power Cert?
Power Cert videos, yeah. He has a channel. Yeah, I suggest you subscribe. It's really good because he uses pictures. You know, he's not just talking. He uses pictures to show you what the cables look like, how they, you know, go into it's very good. He does a very good job.
Right. So security is physical. Security is also logical. That means you got to know networking. If you can understand networking, and this is more than just passing the test. You know, think about this like I said in the beginning, if you want to learn how to drive, normally, you know, you have to go take a test, get a license, and some people are fortunate and can drive simultaneously, you know, get a permit or whatever, and then they can drive with their parent. You know, think about it like that. Maybe getting a permit, and then you have to learn, then you got to do it. So, you know, get certified, but then after that, guess what? That's like when I earned my first black belt. They said, okay, you mastered the basics. Now your true martial arts experience begins from this point. And I was like, huh? I thought I was at the top. No, you just mastered the basics. You've earned the right to come inside of an organization and learn and do more. But the more experience you're going to get driving, the better driver you'll be. The more experience you'll get doing and teaching these basics, the better of a practitioner, ideally, that you will be as well. So the same thing with this Security Plus. So when you need help, Network Plus, A Plus, Security Plus, whatever cert, that's what we're here for. Let us know. You know, we've gone through the pain. We still do cyber labs, security labs, to enhance our skills, in addition to doing it in our respective jobs. You know, by the way, when you get a chance, look at Cheryl's LinkedIn. She's cybersecurity jobs.
I just found her like a week ago.
Awesome. She's doing a great job.
I'm not stalking you, I promise.
No, I know.
Right. So congratulations again, Cheryl. Very happy. Proud of
you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. Any other questions? Louis, what are you going to do this week, man?
What I'm going to do is sit at home and just play video games.
You're going to sit at home and play games? Are you going to study for this test?
Oh, wait, what? Yeah, I am.
How many hours a day are you going to put towards this IT fundamental certification?
It depends on how long I'm going to be on my computer.
Wow. So your computer's your priority, playing games, and then studying for your ITF?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to understand.
I mean, how long I'm going to be on my computer to have the time to be able to study. Because, like, let's say I wake up at 8 and I get on my computer. I'll probably do, like, studying for 30 minutes. And then I'll play my game for 30 minutes. And then I'll take a break, eat, come back, study for, like, an hour. And, yeah, I don't know the full schedule. But I'm going to work it out.
Well, you know what? Next week, if you don't mind, write this stuff down, what you do, because I'm really interested in how you study. You know, you have to play games while studying, apparently. But, you know, this certification exam costs money. And if, God forbid, you fail this exam, are you going to pay for it again?
I mean, depends.
Do you want to earn a Security Plus or any of the other certifications after this? You do? You
Yes.
sure? I asked that because you're going to have to put more time towards those certifications than to this one. It's a little bit difficult, more difficult. It's much more difficult, actually. It's very challenging. Now, I know you know a lot of stuff, but if we could just focus you on one thing at a time, like this certification, I think you could actually be certified within 2 or 3 weeks. That's what my gut is telling me, just because of what you know. The only thing is you probably have to take your gaming and put it on the side until maybe reverse it. Do 75% studying and then go ahead and earn the right to play your game.
Right.
Just saying, because we want you to get certified. You know, we think highly of you because of the things that you know how to do, but now we want you to show us that you can focus only on getting certified and do it within a short amount of time, like before you go back to school, like maybe like this month. Today is May 9th. Do you think you can study for 2 or 3 weeks and get certified before the 30th of the end of this month?
Most likely.
Really?
Like if I really grind at it.
Can you
For
grind at it, please, and show us? That'll
Yes.
make us so happy. You have no idea. You grind at it. Maybe I can get Dr. King to buy you something nice. I don't know what that is. I ain't doing that yet. I ain't not convinced.
Keep going.
All right then. So I wish you luck this week, Lewis, in studying. Ramona, I wish you luck in studying. I'm actually glad that you both are here. Cheryl, awesome work again. She just does awesome stuff. So I recognize her because that makes me feel good too. All right. And
Thank you both for your time. I really do. And it's really helping, like, actually learning how to study, like you said, how to break down the questions.
yes. Hey, like I told you the first week, misery loves company, right? Let's be miserable together. Let's get this stuff. All righty then. Thank you all. And I'm going to close out for the day.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.